Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your boy Stone Thug, and today we're gonna talk about miracles. I'm gonna give you your miracle of today, and we're gonna do that by calling this a Jones, should I say, a Stone Thug story. A lot of you know I'm in Los Angeles. A lot of you don't know how I got here, but I wanted to talk about briefly what happened, how did it all come about. Basically, I came out here for a visit many moons ago. When I came out for a visit, because everybody wanted to go to California, I wanted to get into the movie business. I wanted to work for the studios. I was big on faith because I ain't had nothing else. I had a lot of money. I didn't have no family in California. I didn't have no connections. But all my life, I loved movies, making movies. I knew, something about the movie business. I knew who the biggest director in Hollywood was, Steven Spielberg at the time. So he's still pretty big now with the Transformers and all that kind of stuff. But he made Jaws and, E.T. and a lot of other stuff. So I always dreamt to be able to come out and, meet him. And the idea, and this is one of the reasons why, I believe in God, because, you can call yourself a God. And I believe God makes us gods, in a way. Definitely makes us saints. But I know I didn't have no godly powers. I couldn't even make a quarter move, and I couldn't couldn't turn a quarter into a gold coin. So I knew I wouldn't know God, because if I could, I would wave my hand and make a whole lot of people disappear. But before I did that, I would make some money up here, like most of you. So anyway, I'm getting away from the story, but I had come out for a visit. Had some people that allowed me to come to California, sort of a deserted part of California, and I kind of hang with them for a week or whatever. And I had some business to take care of out here. So what I did was I used to make little novelties and stuff. I came out here because I wanted to do some business with Disneyland. So I made a presentation with Disney, and I met some nice people on the bus. I met this one lady on the bus that usually takes you out there from Los Angeles. She couldn't speak no English. She was from, not from Mexico, but Guatemala. We became friends. She spoke just barely spoke English. We were trying back and forth to talk to each other on the transport. So anyway, make a long story short, we kept it up about 5 years, going back and forth, talking to each other. We became friends. She invited me back out. Her and her girlfriends. She was not my lady or nothing. She was just a friend, somebody nice we met. She was cute, a little smaller than what I normally like to talk to. But, California, they're smaller. When I was from Michigan, they were thick. Anyway, but she was nice. She was Guatemalan. And 5 years later, I came out to California. When I came out on the plane, it was like a question was asked to me, like God himself asked me, like, you think you ever meet one of your idols? You ever think you might meet Steven Spielberg? And I thought, well, if I do everything right, I meet all the right people, I do everything right, in about 7 years, maybe I'll be invited to a dinner or something where he'll be making a speech. I get a chance to say hi to him. That's as far as my faith took me. That was about as. So needless to say, this girl invited me out. So I came back out, and I found out about an hour before the plane took off that the people I was supposed to stay with, who she had fixed up with her girlfriends, boyfriends, was supposed to, put me up. They changed their mind at the last minute. So an hour before the plane took off to go to California, I had no place to stay. I had $300 in my pocket, and I was going out to California. I was supposed to be staying out like a month or something. So what happened was I came on the plane anyway. I told her, hey, look, you know what, I'm just going to have to come, because the plane's about to take off in an hour, and I got to go. So I got on the plane. That question came to me, you ever meet, your idol, one of your film buddies, people you look up to? I believed because I had faith that God would make it happen. Those people, when I got to the airport, they threw me a party. They told me I could stay with them for one day. I couldn't really stay with them because it was three beautiful young ladies. You know, they like 25, 35 years old, 30 years old. They were all from Guatemala. I mean, they only knew me, kind of knew me, you know. I wasn't dating them. We were just cool. They were all fine, though. But anyway, they threw me a party for coming. And, you know, if you know anything about Latin people, they like to party. Anything is a celebration. So I was suffering from jet lag so bad, the party wasn't supposed to kick off till like 11 o'clock. But 11 o'clock in Michigan town would have been like 2 in the morning. I was going to bed like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So 2 in the morning, I just couldn't hang. I just had too big a day. So I told them before the party started, look, I got to go to bed. I got to go to sleep. So they told me just go on in the bedroom, go to sleep. They stayed in one bedroom. So when I woke up in the morning, missed the party, my party, it was just beautiful women all around me. I don't know how they had their sleeping arrangements before, but I woke up, it was just beauty on all sides. And it wasn't even like that, John. It wasn't even like that. You know, we were just cool. We didn't get high. I wasn't sleeping with her. We wasn't having no, whatever they call it. But they were just, you know, we were just cool, like, you know. But anyway, we couldn't keep that arrangement, of course. And so I had to get up the next day, and I had to figure out a place to stay, because I already told me that, you know, I'm going to be with them for a day or so, you know. The one I was cool with, they were all cool with me, but I was cool with one, and that was their arrangement. I couldn't just, you know, interfere with that. So what happened was, when I woke up the next day, I made breakfast, and one of them were going to introduce me to a producer friend of hers that who she was working for. So she gave me this movie and said, this is one of this guy's movies. So I said, I'm going to check it out. So when I meet with this guy on Saturday, I know something about his background, something about what he do, so I can have an intelligent conversation with the guy, because I'm trying to get a job with him. I'm trying to, you know, make something happen. So I need to know people's background. So that's good information. Do your due diligence, y'all. Do your research, you know, especially when you're meeting people and stuff. They like that. So anyway, I'm finishing this up, but I got up the next day. I'm in a place where I didn't have no family. I just knew this girl briefly through the internet, through telephone calls. I didn't know what I was going to do. She told me, she said, look, Greg, you're watching that movie, but you know what? We're going to have to figure out where you're going to stay at, what part of town. I didn't know nothing about what part of town. I didn't know nothing about the names of the city, different cities. I didn't know nothing about the blocks we stayed on. I knew nothing about California, but I knew I was coming out here to stay. Remember, I only had $300. So the girl said, look, I'm going to go into the restroom. When I get out the restroom, we'll sit down, read the paper, figure out what's what. Okay. I told her, fine. So I'm sitting there watching a movie. All of a sudden, I said, well, you know, I better go on and try to make something happen. I put the movie on pause. It's a true story. It's a true story. I put the movie on pause. It's your miracle for the day. I went outside. She was in the bathroom. I saw a lady on the street. She was Latina, older, senior. I said, hey, excuse me, you know somebody got a place to stay? Got a room to rent or whatever? She said, no comprende, no comprende. She didn't speak no English. So I looked up. I saw this other guy. I saw this another person. It was a guy, a white guy. I went over there to him. I said, look, you know somebody that's got a room? He said, a room? Yeah, I said, room for rent, blah, blah, blah. So he says, yeah, you're looking for an apartment, you know. You come right here this way. I'm the manager. I manage this place right here, blah, blah, blah. So he was directly across the street from where I was. So I went over there. He was the manager. He's showing me apartments, empty apartments. I said, no, dude, I can't afford no apartment. I don't got enough money for that. I said, I'm just looking for somebody that got a room. So the guy looked at me. He said, well, where you from? I told him. He said, why are you here? I told him. He said, how long you been here? I told him. He said, what you want to do while you're here? I told him. And then he said, come with me. Took me to his apartment. Took me to a room he had in the back. Fully furnished, everything nice. Beam ceilings, everything. Super nice, super clean. He said, I just happen to have an extra room. He said, maybe we can work something out. I told him, cool. He said, I can't drive right now, so, you know, not only will you have use of the room, but you have use of the car too, because I can't drive the car. I got a DAI, and they suspended my license for a year. He said, I got about 6 months left. I got a car sitting out there. You can drive it whenever you want. Now, some of you might think, that's a lie. I'm telling you, it's the truth. But some of y'all might think that is the truth. But you don't know this guy. You don't know nothing about him. Maybe he's a weirdo. Maybe he's, you know, crazy and just looking to get somebody in his place and, you know, this and that. That guy and me finally had a chance to talk after we made the deal. I went back across the street, sat down in the same chair I was sitting in. The girl came out the restroom. Her name was Patty. When she came out the restroom, she said, okay, Greg, now we're going to, you know, look over this paper and try to figure out a place to stay. We're going to, you know, I told her, no, I ain't got to worry about that. She said, of course you got to worry about it, Greg. You can't stay here with us forever. You know, we all in this apartment bunched up. I told her, look, I ain't talking about staying here. I already got a place. She said, what are you talking about? I said, I got a place already. She said, what are you talking about? You got a place. I said, I got a place across the street. And I got a car. A place and a car. She said, I don't believe you. She said, I picked you up from the airport. I know you don't know a single person on this street. I said, look, let's go over there. She met the guy. The guy was a pharmacist. Elizabeth Taylor's pharmacist for the movie stars. He was professional. He had 6 degrees. But this is the clincher. Because y'all might still be doubting that this was from the Lord. Come to find out, the guy lived on the same street that I lived on in Michigan. Well, actually, he lived around the corner, directly behind where I lived. He had moved to California 10 years earlier. When he found out I was from Michigan, when he found out where I stayed, and he found out I was from the same street just around the corner, that's when he made the deal. That's how I knew it was good. That's how it worked out. Oh, and by the way, about Steven Spielberg, my first job, I went right over to the studio. They hired me because they found out I was from Michigan. The girl went to school in Ohio, who was the head of the grip department. I got that job. And Steven Spielberg, the director of Transformers, Jaws, E.T., oh, he was my first boss. And I got my first check from him, from his production company. And that's your miracle of today. Peace, y'all. It's your boy Stone Thug. I'm going to be coming at you with more and more stories, more and more miracle stories. But check out my site, stonethug.com. And, you know, you might see something you like. Also, check out my YouTube channel, Stone Thug Music. Stone Thug Music. Stone Thug.